Hey everyone! So as a lefty hand calligrapher for the past 2.5 years, and when I was just starting out with learning calligraphy, I was like looking for resources on YouTube, but I actually couldn't find a lot of like beginner tutorials for left-handed people. So this is what we're doing in this video. So let's talk about paper positioning. As a left-handed person, you probably don't have to angle your paper as right-handed people do. You can just keep things straight. And the way to figure out how to angle your pen is like this. So if you take a look at the slant of all my thick lines, basically your pen, if you put your pen down on the paper, so flat, so from bird's eye view, your pen should be at a 90-degree angle to all your thick lines, which is like the slant of your writing. So if you have a slant like this versus some writing that has a slant that is straight, this slant is more straight. I would be, instead of positioning my pen this way, I would do this. Sometimes it's awkward to move your hand, let's say in this case. Then if it's more comfortable, I could slant my paper a bit. So it doesn't matter how you position your paper, as long as it's comfortable for your hand and you can make it a 90-degree angle to the slant of the letters that you're writing. Most of the time, we can use a pretty straight positioning with the paper, and we can hold the pen like this. Now, if you're wondering what is the angle of the paper to the pen, it should be around 45 degrees, which is half of a right angle. So not too high like this, because you're going to just break the tip of the pen, but down. Angle it down so it's at around 45 degrees. So if you're just starting out with calligraphy, you have to learn the basic strokes first, because all the letters in the alphabet are based on some very standard strokes. Are pretty much one motion of your pen. So this is what I mean. Let's say it is a letter like D. So when I write the letter D, gonna look like this. Now, did you just see how I have this oval shape and then also this ascending loop shape going like that? So all letters, no matter what letter, they are made up of a series of basic strokes. So I'm gonna go over the basic strokes right now. The first one is the downstroke, which is a thick line down on your paper. The next one is upstroke, so you go up with a thin line. The next one is underturn, so go down with a thick line. And before you get to the bottom, so right before you get to the bottom, you're going to lift the pressure of your pen and you're going to transition. So it looks like a U shape. So this is the underturn. Now the next one is overturn. So you go up with a thin line, and then once you get to the top, you're going to transition, put more pressure on your pen, and make it a thick line. Now you'll notice that whenever you go down, it's going to be a thick line. Whenever you go up, it's a thin line. That is a hard rule, okay? You have to go down with a thick line and up with a thin line. This is for all across the board. So the next one is compound curve, which is going up with a thin line, transition after you get to the top, and then transition before you get to the bottom. So here are the transition points after you get to the top and before you get to the bottom. Like that. Also, try to make these as curved as you can and not pointy like this. Don't make this pointy, curved. So that is the compound curve. And I know that all of these have names, but don't worry about actually memorizing the official names of each of the strokes. All you need to do is to be able to do the stroke on your piece of paper. So don't worry about memorizing the names of the strokes. So the next one after the compound curve is the ascending loop. So you go up with a thin line, and once you get to the top, you're going to transition. So this is the transition point. This is the ascending loop. Go up with a thin line. After you get to the top, transition and turn it into a thick line. The next one is descending loop. So you're going to go down with a thick line, and before you get to the bottom, you're going to transition. So before you get to the bottom, lift up the pressure of your pen and transition like that. That is your descending loop. The next one is the oval. So there are actually two ovals. I'll show you right here. So there is the counterclockwise oval, and then there's the clockwise oval. For the counterclockwise oval, you're going to start going up with a thin line, transitioning after you get to the top and before you get to the bottom. This is where you start, going this way. So there are two transition areas here, after you get to the top and before you get to the bottom. And you'll notice that with all of these, all the transitioning is happening like on the thick line. So whenever it's thin the entire way. It's thin the entire way when you're going up. So all the transitions happen during the thick line. That is not grammatically correct, but you know what I mean. For the clockwise oval, you're going to go up with a thin line, up with a thin line. This is the starting point. Up with a thin line, transition after you get to the top, and again before you get to the bottom. Like that. So that is the other oval that you need to know. So to give you an example of how we use the basic strokes to form letters, let's say it is the underturn like this. Well, this underturn is used to form letters like I, T, U. This is a U, not a W. This is W. That is W. And also Y. See how we have the underturn? Now for overturn and the compound curve, these would be used to form letters like N and M. I'm not covering all the letters you can form because that would take me much longer in this video, so I can do that in another video, but I did want to give you just an overview of how you use the basic strokes to form letters. Sorry, this is a basic stroke. Okay, so for the ascending loop, can you guess what letters we can use this for? So there's definitely D, there is L, and also letters like B. With the descending loop, we can make J, G, and also Y. Now with this oval, the one that starts on the right side and goes up like that, this can be used, so as you can see here, for the G, we can use that. For the D, we can use this. Also the A. Okay, so you see how a lot of the letters are formed with like one or two of the basic strokes. For this O, the one that starts on the left and goes up like this, we can use this for B. So now I'm going to start that oval like that, and also P. So I'm starting right here and I'm going to do this oval. And so now you can see how the basic strokes are used to form a lot of the letters. Now, if you're thinking, well, you know, this is great, but Dina, I really want to write some words. Here is my biggest tip for you on writing words. So normally, so let's say we have, you know, these lines. Let's say we're going to write hello. So let's do our H. H. Okay, we've done our H. Now the important thing is to make sure this is called the exit stroke. Make sure that the exit stroke, or pretty much the last part of each of the letters, it ends here, right here in the middle. And then when you continue, make sure it ends here. I call this the midline, but there are other people who call this other things. So end at the midline, midline, end at the midline. So that is my biggest tip. Make sure that when you end a letter, make sure it is on this line so that you can connect to the next letter seamlessly. If you've been enjoying this video so far, take a screenshot of this video, add me on Instagram at Dina Calligraphy, post this to your stories and tag me, and I would love to feature you back. I really love connecting and getting to know my subscribers and my followers, so take that screenshot and post this to your stories and I will help you get a couple more followers back. If you're looking for more resources on how to start a calligraphy business, then make sure you check the link in the description to join my free Facebook group where you can find more than 15 free in-depth training videos on how to build your Instagram, how to teach a calligraphy workshop, how to get on-site events, and a lot more resources on how to start a calligraphy business. So make sure you check it out in the link in the description. And make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are a lefty calligrapher or you are a calligrapher or a creative looking for more resources on how to grow your creative business. So there you go. Good luck on your calligraphy journey and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.